struggles and industrial revolutions, we Americans have developed this kind of roll-up-your-sleeves attitude towards work. With the We Can Do It poster, American industrialistness was idealized, and their pride in manufacturing was captured. With former President Richard Nixon's address on Labor Day, our industrialist again was idealized. And he said in his speech, quote, "Americans are considered an industrious and purposeful people that lifted themselves into a position of the most powerful and respected leaders of the free world today." As if to exalt the paragon that laborers are the paragon of thoughtfulness and diligence, among other positive aspects of work ethic. And we still do this today. In this Walmart ad, we watched a company equate American middle-skilled blue-collar workers with their industriousness with soldiers' patriotism. And these interlacing shots of American factories and American workers appear to pass on the impression that good, patriotic Americans do manual work, just as the We Can Do It poster did. Now, none of this is necessarily negative, but in a changing world, these notions seem somewhat limiting considering the industries Americans now work in, and what the future of jobs looks like for blue-collar workers. Some call it the robot economy, which is essentially the exponential growth of technologies that have far outpaced their human counterparts, and they blame automation for sucking up both our prideful identity in manual labor and its jobs. And certainly every job sector has been affected by this, but the blue-collar's routine nature of work seems to be threatened largely compared to other industries. However, will this age really endanger people the way they perceive it will? And more importantly, how can we let blue-collar workers know that they will not be left behind in the coming era? Perhaps looking at a breakdown of employment will lend some understanding to where blue-collar work has gone, and according to research and data collection done by the Bureau of Labor Statistics and synthesized by NPR. I understand this graphic might be a little bit complex, so let's just look at a couple simple aspects of it first. So first the years, in 1972 on the left and 2012 on the right. These are each breakdowns of employment by year, so what we did as Americans for work in that year. What you'll notice is that just a year after Nixon's speech, largely dedicated to honoring blue-collar work, manufacturing was the most dominant sector, with 23.9% of the working population working in that sector. In 2012, this dropped significantly to 9%. To explain this deviation, it's helpful to examine Moore's Law, a law made by 1965 Intel co-founder Gordon Moore, which has thus far accurately predicted that the number of transistors per square inch on an integrated circuit will double every year. The graph reflecting this law is exponential, showing just how rapid this increase has been. To everyone, this should be extremely important and highly exciting, because it means that humans will no longer need to do extraneous work that is routine and cumbersome. Robots will be smarter, smaller, and faster as a result of these integrated circuits, and much more equipped to handle unchanging cognitive skills and even highly complex data systems. As of late, robots have tackled driving, production, and manufacturing. They can 3D print homes in less than 24 hours and can distinguish between thousands of radiology issues a patient may have. Ultimately, these emerging technologies have the potential to completely change how we live and work every day. However, one dissent about this almost aggressive amount of growth in the past century has been, how will this affect our job market? Where will the cashiers go? Where will the construction workers go? And what about the taxi drivers? Well, it turns out that this might be an overestimated concern. While it should be noted that the manufacturing sector has largely declined with other types of routine work, fear, as I mentioned, has played a dominant role in how we view automation. Automation has actually been attributed to increasing the number of jobs in the market. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics and CNN, unemployment has largely recovered from the 2008 recession, where it is currently settling near 4.7%. And the U.S. economy has found some 5.3 million jobs available due to automation. However, getting these positions filled will likely be our biggest challenge in the near future, as many current applicants have been described as underqualified or unqualified. And according to the Chicago Tribune, as they stressed in a piece, it's been one of the hardest parts about young college students finding employment, let alone previous blue-collar workers. Without a more educated class trained in engineering automated industries that now consume routine sectors of work, the job market will see a huge vacancy associated with computer science, engineering, and creative design. The skills gap, as they call it, has continued to grow in recent years, almost as rapidly as the transistors on Moore's Law, with many fearing soon that only an elite few will be privy to the knowledge associated with the future development of tech. And while some claim that this educational system that that seeks to retrain old blue-collar employees is a waste of precious time and money. The narrowing number of those who can afford to risk their own creative enterprises signifies an extreme loss in the innovation world. Without many others' insights, creativity, and disposable income in the tech world, especially, our whole future economy could shrink as other countries seek to profit off the tech market and grow significantly larger, more up-to-date workforces. In order to spur even more productivity and continue to value the patriotic Americans who work for a life of abundance and their own personal freedoms with the hardy work ethic that Nixon stressed and praised in his speech, the tech industry in America needs to create more paths to successful educations and ultimately higher skilled workers. If we keep viewing frontline workers as a cost to be minimized rather than an asset to be developed, we can adequately support the massive growth of the tech industry. One small-scale example of the kind of approach I suggest is Singularity University. Singularity University creates a path towards education geared at exponentiating technologies. This non-accredited university offers every student advanced skills in the world of tech and how to capitalize off of industries constantly growing, and offers a perfect example of where U.S. companies should be headed in order to close the skills gap. Now, I agree that re-education or education in general cannot be the complete solution to the skills gap issue and solely ensure that blue-collar laborers don't feel left behind in this new, daunting yet exciting world. However, I would stress that it is a step in the right direction. We need to stop glorifying our past and start creating solutions like SUs that will open the world of abundance to every single American. And if we have a place in a world and people more dedicated to making the world more efficient and tech-friendly place in general, where automation can help increase our standards of living and prevent class divides, we will perhaps encounter an era where automation is no longer the enemy, and where workers know that their creativity and hard work within the workplace is valued. To put it simply, we will ensure that blue-collar laborers don't feel left out by not leaving them behind in the first place.